this way, and you touch that button. Perfect.
Okay, got it.
Okay, here we go.
You're getting into it? Okay. That's all right.
Extremely excited. These networks and canvassing goes throughout Montgomery County, throughout the southeast, and they've been going on for months, if not close to a year. So when people say every election's the most important in our lifetime, I really do think this year you can say it without a little bit of a chuckle, because there's so much at stake. And to have Senator Casey here join us, it really is an honor to be
Here's a state representative. I've had the pleasure of working right next door to, alongside Tim Briggs. We literally shared our desk for the first 4 years until I moved. He kind of got mad at me and I moved.
Hope you didn't spill your coffee.
No. He's been such a great colleague, such a good friend. You helped me from day one, and I really appreciate that. You're an extraordinary leader in our Democratic caucus. And I should say one last thing, if I might. Senator Casey has been so kind to me on this campaign run, and before, frankly, in any capacity that I have served. As Township Commissioner, you were kind to me and wanting to help. But literally this week he called to say he was going to be here, he was going to be helping me, contributing to my campaign at a time when he needs to be doing his own thing. So know that we have a leader like Senator Casey who's willing to help those of us colleagues in the State House, those of us candidates for Congress, up and down the ballot. So I'm just delighted for your leadership. Thank you.
Right.
I think it's emblematic of what's happening all across the country. So thanks for doing that. Anna, thanks for having us into your office. We won't be here all week, but before you put us to work. But I do want to thank you. And I know we have folks from, I guess most folks from Montgomery County, but also maybe some Delaware County as well. We're kind of on the border. And I want you to know how much we appreciate what you're doing. This year, in addition to the battles we have to fight, we have a chance to elect more women to the Pennsylvania delegation to the United States House of Representatives than we have elected cumulatively over 50 years. I think this past week in the Senate Judiciary Committee, gave us a reminder of what we're up against. We're up against extreme right forces in the Republican Party, backed and funded by the corporate right. The special interests on the right are not going to lay down in this election. They're going to be fighting us every minute of every day. We got 37 days, and we got a lot of battles to fight, not just in this election, but more importantly after Election Day when it comes to enacting new policy. But I think we can win a lot of races this year and put ourselves on a different path. But those battles are very challenging. Just think of what they're doing on health care. We mentioned earlier about pre-existing conditions. 5.3 million people in Pennsylvania with them. The Republican Party is in a court of law making an argument that the protections that we put in place, that the American people put in place to protect people with pre-existing conditions, they're making the argument that that is in fact unconstitutional. We have to stop them from doing that. This isn't a time to have like a negotiation or a discussion. You have to stop them from ripping away protections for pre-existing conditions, stop them from decimating the Medicaid program that in our state, thank goodness, helps 40% of our kids have health care. Half of all Pennsylvanians with a disability get help from the Medicaid program, and that's the right thing to do. 60% of seniors getting into a nursing home are there because of the support of Medicaid. So I like to say Medicaid in our state is a 40, 50, 60 program. 40% of the kids, half of people with disabilities, 60% of seniors. So you bet we're going to fight for that. And you bet we're going to prevent them from decimating that program or voucherizing the Medicare program. The House Republican budget that was passed in June through the House Budget Committee would cut the Medicare program by $537 billion. That is one of the reasons that we're going to be able to stop those cuts to Medicare and Medicaid and so many other programs. But we also know a lot's on the line just in terms of basic justice. The justice that comes with knowing that you have a government that is on your side. The justice that comes from knowing that someone is representing you in the United States Congress like Madeline or like Tim Briggs in this district. Tim, I don't know what kind of a race you have, If you have a tough race, we want you to win. If you have an easy race, we want you to just win big, all right? Let's hear it for Tim. But there's a lot at stake, and I appreciate the fact that you're coming here today. I see clipboards all around the room, which means you're working. You're not just giving a speech like I am, you're actually working. But I think it's indicative of what we've seen all across the state. People were knocking on doors and making phone calls way back in May and June, right after the primary, all the way through. We're going to have more volunteers on the streets of our communities in Pennsylvania, in every corner of our state, than we've ever had in an off-year election. In fact, some of the numbers in terms of volunteers this year will approach the numbers we see in a presidential election. That's the kind of year it is. But you are making that possible. You make it possible for us to be able to fight some of those battles. And not just fight hard, but win. Think of what happened just in the last year and a half roughly.
Try not to.
Because of your work, it feels longer, I know. Because of your work, we're able to stop them from repealing the Affordable Care Act. I know they're not done yet. They're going to keep after it. But only because of your work were we able to stop that. Because of your work, this past year, with Democrats fighting hard in the Congress, we got the greatest increase ever in the child care block grants. So more than 10,130 kids in our state will get child care because you made that a priority, you told us to fight for it, we fought on it, and we won. We got more child care dollars. So we know that we can win, but the ultimate way to win, of course, is to win on Election Day. To win in 2018, to win in 2019, we have elections all across our state, and then in 2020, we're going to elect a Democratic president and change the course of American history.